Earthquakes and volcanoes. What made an earthquake? When faulting occurs repeatedly, an earthquake is produced. When friction builds up and plate motion is stopped, the strain builds to such a magnitude that the rocks snap and release all the stored energy at once, causing an earthquake. Who was one of the first person to study faulting? Dr. Nicholas Dino was one of the first persons to study faulting and arrive at correct conclusions. What do you mean by faulting? Earth's lithosphere has places of weakness called geological faults. A geological fault is a break or fracture in the rock structure. The rock on one side of a fault can move vertically or horizontally in relation to the rock on the other side of the fault. Vertical faulting causes differences in elevation between the rock structure on the two sides of the fault, and horizontal faulting causes rock structure on both sides of the fault to slip sideways. Vertical faulting is the process by which sedimentary rock structure are upended by movements of Earth's crust. Vertical faulting produces mountains that are steep and jagged with sharp peaks. Many active faults are part of the Great Rift Valley, which extends south from the Middle East from the eastern side of Africa to Mozambique. Normal faulting occurs when a section of rock breaks along a fault line and the ground on one side of the fault sinks to a lower level. When a section of rock breaks along a fault line and one fault block rises above its original level, reverse faulting has occurred. A strike-slip fault occurs when two fault blocks slide horizontally post each other in opposite directions along a fault line. Where is 80% of earthquake occurs? About 80% of all earthquakes occur in a vast network of faulting around the Pacific Ocean called the Ring of Fire. The Jordan Rift is a major fault zone located in the Jordan River Valley between Israel and Jordan. Why volcanoes and earthquakes are destructive? Volcanoes and earthquakes are destructive because energy that accumulates in Earth's lithosphere over long periods of time is suddenly released. What is the most terrible earthquake? San Francisco, California, located in the northern part of the San Andreas Fault, was the site of a terrible earthquake in 1906. Seismologists believe pressure for another major earthquake has been building along the San Andreas Fault since the powerful earthquake of 1989. What makes changes in Earth's crust? Heat energy inside Earth is one of several forces that causes changes in Earth's crust. Rocks are chemically changed by heat and pressure inside Earth. Who suspected that different cooling rates might produce? Sir James Hall suspected that different cooling rates might produce entirely different kinds of rocks in Earth's crust from the same molten material. He demonstrated that a variety of rocks could be produced from the same original magma by changing three mechanical factors, and they are pressure, temperature, and cooling rate. How is the crystals formed? The slower the cooling rate, the larger the crystals that form. Cooling magma at a rapid rate is thought to make a dark, dense basalt that has crystals so tiny they can only be seen with a microscope. In this page, I learned about meekness. Meekness means being gentle and yet strong. staying right when things go wrong. Meek is trusting with a prayer and song. Such a man led his people out of bondage. This report is from Science 1092.